Hello. Oh, I had my monitor volume turned up a little bit too loud. There we go. We are back. It is September 22nd, and we are back for the evening update, folks. We did it. That's right. Welcome, everyone. Make sure to post out the live. Big thing, guys. This last couple of days has been interesting. We had Charlie Kirk's memorial. We learned some new things about Jimmy Kimmel. His show is apparently going to come back. Who knew? We have some immigration things. We have some updates on Palestine. We have some updates on a couple of different things, guys. So let's get right into it. But before we do, go ahead and go to the profile. Check out the link there in the profile to my website. That will get you the links to many ways that you can support me, whether it is my YouTube and Rumble channel, whether it is my X account, whether it is buying me a coffee, supporting my business, or other things. You can also buy merch and many other things. But most of all, guys, check out the schedule. The schedule right down here at the bottom. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, evening update, 7:30 p.m. Saturday, the weekly update, 7 o'clock p.m. Monday, someday, 2 vets and a gardener. If we can get that off the ground. So far, that has been delayed. Seems like indefinitely, but hey, we'll get back to it if we can. And Tuesday, topic exchange, 8:45 p.m. Eastern. Also, don't forget to check out Shell and Christina's space on Bible stuff Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern. So go ahead and check all those things out. Support the channel, repost out the live. Let's see if we can set a record, guys. Get it posted out, and let's support it. But first section we are going to get into is immigration, folks. Tristan Tate here with a post that says, fear of being called a racist in 2015 is the major reason that Europe is now screwed in 2025. I would agree. I think a lot of the progressives have used that kind of language, the shaming language, to try and get their way. And for the most part, we have capitulated. So if you want to know why we are in so much trouble right now in 2025, well, a lot of that is probably due to the fact that we listened to these idiots far too much and we became afraid of mean words, even though in the end, we're supposed to not care about words. Right? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Unfortunately, we became sensitive to those words. So we just need to knock that shit off. Also, it looks like we're having a little bit of bandwidth issues with the stream, but we'll keep an eye on it. It looks like our bitrate is starting to recover. So let me know if it's breaking up or if we're having any other issues, guys. Also, let me know if it's coming through smoothly. That will also help. So just let me know in the comments. Yeah, guys, we can't be afraid of being called mean words. One thing that we've learned, the left is not above using mean words. They're also not afraid to be very violent. We've learned that in the last few weeks as well with the assassination of Charlie Kirk and many other things. The violence coming out of Antifa and the fact that they are now declared a terrorist organization for good reason. They are using violence to try and get changes in politics. That's pretty much the definition of terrorism. So yeah, we can't be afraid of being called racist, sexist, bigots. We can't be afraid of being called anything, guys. We just need to stick true to our values and pray. Pray a lot. White House posted that without borders, law and order, and religion, you don't have a country. It's very true. Without these things, what would any country be? We are always shamed by these globalist morons for believing in any of these things because they want to destroy all of them, because they know if they can undermine all of these things, that we won't have a country. And the United States, being the beacon on a hill that it is the last best hope for man. So they're trying to destroy it because we all know that a progressive has no issues destroying 95% of something if they can rule over the 5% that remains. So they will gladly burn the world down around them as long as they get to be in charge of what's left. We can't let them do that, guys. We need to stand strong. Chicago, guys, we have been sending federal agents into Chicago now, trying to do better. We're trying to fix it like we did with Washington, D.C., except the mayor is resisting. The mayor doesn't like the help. The mayor says that law enforcement and incarceration are basically the problem, even though they seem to be the solution everywhere else. But ICE protests are turning violent, forcing agents to fire tear gas and rubber bullets into the crowds. So you can see here, yep, noisemakers, tear gas, rubber bullets, dispersing the crowd. Oh no, it's probably not on your end actually, because I am looking at my bit rate is all over the map, fluctuating from 3,000 kilobits to 5,000 and back. Sometimes, guys, we just do this live. If I continue to have fluctuations, I might actually need to stop the stream and go reset my router, so just let me know. Is what it is. So, yep, Chicago, guys. Chicago is still being Chirac. It just cannot stop being violent. It's unfortunate. We're going to get into also another immigration story. ICE Dallas arrested a 4 times previously deported Mexican criminal alien, Jonathan Baruman Romero. His rap sheet has already included illegal reentry, vehicle theft, drug manufacturing, and assaulting a police officer. Guys, these people are not their best. They are not sending their best. They are not sending even close to their best. Now, sure, I'm sure there's some legal immigrants that are doing just fine and that aren't bad people. But a lot of these illegals are not good people. So, guys, arrest, detain, deport. That's really the major solution. Get rid of these folks. They have no business being here. If you can't respect our laws, you don't deserve to be here. We have another one. Illegal alien, an Iranian national this time, convicted sex offender since 2002. His felony convictions were for aggravated kidnapping and aggravated criminal sexual abuse of force. With a criminal history like this, he has no business living freely in the U.S. His new felony charge is for re-entry of a removed alien. Operation Midway Blitz is cleaning up Chicago. Midway is the airport there in Chicago, so I think that's quite humorous. But yeah, Midway Blitz cleaning up Chicago. Sorry, Mayor, you may not want the help, but apparently you have some pretty nasty people on your streets. And God bless Trump and his folks for trying to get rid of some of these people. Because people like this have no business being in this country. None whatsoever. And the last one that we have for immigration, guys, the 38-year-old New York City man. We all know what this means. We've all seen story after story. This means isn't illegal. Like, that's what the news means when they say Maryland man, Delaware man, New York City man, like any of these mans had to come over. It was lagging on X. Is it doing okay over there on YouTube? You just let me know if it's doing better over there. That's an interesting solution. I wonder if it's just the servers at X are having issues then. But yeah, guys, this guy was rejected by this female. Now, not really my cup of tea, but his response was to chase her down with a vehicle, ram into her, pin her between a light post and the vehicle, and essentially split her in half and kill her. 16-year-old girl dead now because this criminal alien could not handle being rejected. It's pretty disgusting. We get into violence. Now, I didn't put this in the immigration section because this is actually an indigenous person in Canada, so didn't really fit. Similar outcomes, though. You have a Calgary man. We know what that means. Sexually assaulted a 12-year-old girl, but got a reduced sentence. And why, might you ask, did he get a reduced sentence? Because he's indigenous. That's it. Said, but for his Gladio factors, I would have imposed a sentence sought by the Crown, said the judge. So let's just scroll down here and look at what this means. Joseph Allen, thank you for the clarification in the comments. Gladio refers to the legal principle in Canada that requires judges to consider the unique circumstances of indigenous offenders during sentencing. This principle aims to address the overrepresentation of indigenous peoples in the criminal justice system. It couldn't possibly just be that indigenous people commit more crime. So again, we are giving people special treatment because there are just too many of them in prison. I think we saw this when it came to Irina Zarutska's killer. We've seen this far too often with these progressive policies and progressive judges. This restorative justice, this DEI brand of law enforcement is evil, and it is doing great harm to the citizenry of our countries. So, a man who sexually assaulted a 12-year-old is now getting a reduced sentence solely because there are already too many indigenous people in prison. Yep. Just chew on that one for a minute. Also, Milan. Now, this is a follow-up to, we will get to Palestine here in a minute, but Italy refused to recognize Palestine as a state. So when this happened, Antifa took to the streets. Now, that's weird. You might remember that Antifa is not an organization, right? Antifa is just an idea, except that they are well organized and respond as such to events all over the world. So Milan is now essentially a war zone. You can see large crowds. They're trying to disperse. People throwing gas canisters back at the cops. Just typical Antifa style behavior, faces covered. And then you might say, oh, well, I was looking for these were out of order. My apologies. So, breaking, everyone. This was as of an hour ago. President Trump has officially signed an executive order that designates Antifa as a terrorist organization. It's about time, and I voted for this. Yes, it's fine on here. Fantastic. Good to hear. I'm glad things are a little better on YouTube, guys. If you're having issues, it looks like the servers over on the X side might be giving us the business, but things are stable on YouTube. So check that out. Again, if you check out my profile, the link to that page is in there as well. So Antifa, guys, terrorists. That makes sense if you look at the state of Milan right now. But the interesting thing is, we've already talked about it a little bit, is what does this mean for the people that finance Antifa? What does this mean for the people that identify and say, I am Antifa? Doesn't seem very smart, like the Krasenstein brothers, which never really seemed smart anyway. I would encourage people to stop identifying as Antifa, because right now that means you are identifying as a terrorist, and that probably will not end well. So just keep in mind, Antifa is now, by executive order, a terrorist organization. I had to put this back in here, guys, in the violence section because it is so similar to this restorative DEI justice. It is causing the death of far too many folks. And you'll also notice there's a similarity going on here. Here's another story. Tanner Staggs, a landscaper in Ohio, who was shot and killed because some blades of grass got on the neighbor's car. Travis Jackson is charged with murder. You probably won't hear about this story in the legacy media because it doesn't fit the narrative. As Conservative Alternative always posts, and I really do need to save this meme template, but my narrative, you can't destroy my narrative. The media, look at what they're focused in on so heavily. They have zoomed in at the camera only on the white on black crime, ignoring completely all of the other demographic crime. Because, it only matters when it's white on black crime. Everything else is irrelevant to the narrative. So always enjoy seeing that one, Sam. I will have to download that on my phone so it is always available. And I will, of course, give you credit. So thank you very much for posting that one. But Tanner is not the last one. We also have this engineer, son of Obama if he had one, hammered 22-year-old drives 8 blocks with a woman's body on his windshield after mowing her down and killing her as she rode an e-bike. Yep, ran her over. She was stuck on his windshield, and he drove 8 blocks while she was dying. You guys noticing a theme yet? You also have this beloved youth counselor is beaten to death by a 16-year-old boy at Department of Corrections school. Now, I have a lot of questions on how it was allowed to get this far. But as Lauren Chen points out, this poor man was beaten to death by somebody who he was trying to help. Where are the national headlines, the protests? And you can see this story was posted by Garbage Human. Makes sense. But what was something that you noticed about the last 4 stories? Innocent people being killed by evil people. It's happening far too often, guys. And we can see, as Sam pointed out, Corn Pop. Nice account name. Skibbity Corn Pop. The U.S. murder by race rate per 100,000. Everybody has been fairly stable over the years, except for one group. Up to 31.8 murders per 100,000. That is very high. The next highest is 8.5. It's not good, guys. And then, of course, the media won't tell you this. Why? Well, as pointed out here, guys, all they do is lie, and X is shielding us from their lies. X is now the #1 app for news. So if you need news, you come to X. If you want to get the news first, you definitely come to X. If you want to get the news from me, I highly encourage you to stay on X. Is he okay? What's he doing? Is he okay? Tell him to come up here, please. Okay. Yeah, guys, X is shielding us from the propaganda and the lies. It exposes the truth far more than any other app, far more than any other news source. And if you notice, that now includes Fox News. Fox News is not trustworthy either. At least we had the First Amendment. Yeah. But then the media is an existential threat to humanity. Yeah, guys, they are not our friends. And here's another great one posted by Rothmus, guys. Read this and let me know what you think. Hey guys, give me just a second. I gotta go check on my boy. I'll be right back. I'm sure everything's fine. Just give me a minute. Okay. I will be right back with you. All right. Sorry about that. Kids were just messing around. And the little one bumped his head, but he's okay. All right. So this is a good call out on the media. Would you blindfold yourself and eat whatever someone fed you? No? Then you should probably stop letting the media do it to you. X is major glitching. I noticed. That is why Shell and a couple other people are over on YouTube. Apparently everything's fine over there. Gardner, so if you can, head on over to YouTube or to Rumble. And of course, when I post it, it doesn't go on X. Here, let me post it on the Go Live. Boop. Boop. We're doing it live, folks. Yeah, guys, go to the profile. Go to the profile. Go to patriotdad.com. Scroll down, go to YouTube channel. Click on the YouTube icon. You can find it. Yeah, so just go find it over there, guys. Hopefully it's less glitchy over there for you. But we're going to get into government. This is the UK government now, guys. This is the police that they're going to send to your door. Does this seem normal to you that a Western country would have cops like this that are going to show up to your house and harass you, take phones, interrogate people? Yeah, it doesn't really seem correct, does it? What, bud? It's not time yet. You need to get a Kleenex, buddy. Come on. Go get him a Kleenex, please. The X feed crashed. Oh no. That's crazy. I can try and stop it and start it again. I don't know what's going to happen. I can't even stop it. That's wild. Still says I'm streaming here. Can I turn it off? Okay, there. So I turned it off. Let's try turning it back on, folks. Turning it back on. Let's see what happens. All right, it says it's streaming again. Let me, I'll repost the link real quick. Started 1 minute ago. Copy the link. All right, let's go back. Post. All right, I have now reposted the link there. Hopefully it fixes it. If not, guys, just show over on Rumble or on YouTube. That's why we have these other platforms, just in case we need it. Yeah, guys, this is the police now in Britain. It's kind of crazy. But then when you look at what the police in Britain are doing also, this British war veteran held up a sign above his wheelchair, and because the British government and Keir Starmer didn't agree with it, they had him arrested. Guys, they are arresting war veterans. They're They're literally arresting a war veteran because they disagree with his speech. Aren't you glad that we aren't like them? Like, aren't you glad? Like it says, Britain is actually worse. Britain is actually worse than North Korea, folks. It was glitching, then crashed. Whew. All right, well, here we are, guys, doing it live. Rumble and YouTube. Let's go. Congressman Byron Donalds continuing with government. We'll just play the video.
I have worked, whether it's at the state level or here at the federal level, to make sure that our criminal justice policies and systems actually make sense, and they are built to secure and protect the citizens that we all serve.
As they should be.
That's a mission I've been on ever since.
Will the gentleman yield?
I'm not going to yield because it's a personal point of privilege. It's not for you.
I just wanted to clarify something.
So for the record, I wanted to make that point be clear. Yes, I'm the author of the D.C. Crimes Act. Yes, I believe that adults over the age of 18
Mr.
should be held
Chairman, this
accountable
is not
as
a
adults.
campaign ad
And so
for the gentleman's governorship.
this is not a campaign ad. I'm stating it for the record because it was raised by the gentle lady. I'm sorry I didn't catch your name. I know you're a freshman member of the House, and I have never had a chance to meet you, but it was raised, so I wanted to provide a response because my name was brought up in an article submitted for the record. I think
Point
I'm
of
done
information.
now. I yield.
Yeah. Good job, Byron. Yeah, a lot of people don't really like Byron. I do. I think he's pretty great. Yeah, he wrote it. His bill just passed the House this week and is going strong with Senate support. We're going to make our nation's capital safe again, whether far left likes it or not. Because in D.C., if you were between 18 and 24, they could still charge you as a minor, which meant much lighter sentencing. But no longer should you be tried as a juvenile. So instead, Byron here is routing a bill so that you get charged as an adult. That shouldn't be too difficult. But apparently there's a lot of resistance to this, probably because it's common sense. And we know the government isn't real big on common sense. Homeland Security is posting that they will not be complying with Gavin Newsom's unconstitutional mask ban. It's very interesting that just a few short years after criminalizing people for not wearing masks, they are now trying to criminalize people for wearing masks. It's very confusing. As I said, the government, especially progressives, do not stay consistent in their views. I do like this. This is the Gulf of Liberal Tears, also known as the Gulf of America. But yeah, guys, what is happening? California is trying to throw its weight around, and I'm glad to see the administration is saying that, no, we are not going to listen to you. Nice try. Highly skilled jobs should go to Americans first. This was H-1B reform that was put forward by President Trump, tacking on a $100,000 fee for every H-1B visa. I think this is an excellent idea. And I think that it should give Americans a better crack at it. I think a lot of these companies are going to stop hiring foreigners if H-1Bs cost $100,000 a piece per year. Highly skilled jobs should go to America's first. This is why we launched Project Firewall. X is temporarily working. I did restart the stream. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Thank you for the update. Now, Alveda King. She says, I am the